And it's good news with Dick Baumbach. I'm Jeff Heiser here with Mr. Baumbach. How are you today, Mr. Baumbach?
Fine. I'm Dick Baumbach, and I'm here too. Yes.
And you've got us some good news once again, and it's always good to have you here talking about good news with the way things are in the world. It's always refreshing to hear some of your stories. Your first story today says, world's largest air purifier transforms Chinese smog into actual diamonds?
Yes. No, I was wondering if they could move that to where we are. And
wow.
Yes. And what it is, it's a 23-foot tall metal structure that is capable of filtering 75% of harmful PM 2.5 and PM 10 particles from surrounding air, and then it produces clean air, which creates a bubble around the tower, and then they create these diamonds, which they're now selling.
Holy smokes. I'd be interested to know how they're making these diamonds. And hopefully they don't sell it to North Korea, you know?
Right, exactly. But now you can get a diamond anyway.
Yeah. No, it'll be the diamonds that you get on the cruise ships now.
Well, right. I mean, but you think about it.
Made in China.
Yeah, right. But you think about the fact that, I mean, this is a true story, and it's good news, and now I'm wondering when they're going to bring him here.
Yeah, diamonds take a lot of pressure, so they must be pressurizing whatever they're getting, compacting it real tight.
Yeah, and I mean, when I saw that story, I thought, well, that's good news. Anybody wants to get a diamond ring for their wife or something?
Sorry, it's made in China from smog. So if it looks a little cloudy, you'll know it came from
China.
Yeah. Oh, boy. We have a lot of good times here.
Yeah.
Next story is, instead of punishment, pizzeria owner reaches out to a family who robbed him.
Yeah, now this is in Manitoba, Canada, and the man's name is Damon Penner, and he owns Rocco's Pizzeria, and he happened to see on his security footage a woman with some small kids came in. The kids caused disruption, and she eventually went out with 9 pizzas that she had taken out of a freezer, and what he decided to do is he said, no, I'm not going to pursue charges against her. She obviously needs them. She needs to feed her kids. So what I want to do is reach out to her, and I will help her. And he's not sharing the video.
Did he give her a job?
He'll give her a job.
Wow.
He'll help her with her food because he just wants her to come forward and say, I'm sorry I did that. And he will not share the video with anybody.
Wow. Now, did she do it?
No, she has not come
She
forward.
She hasn't come clean, huh?
But what I'm thinking, and I'm being serious now, is TNR is all over the world. Maybe
maybe she'll hear it.
Maybe she hears it, and she says, okay, I need to go in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened with O.J. Simpson. I mean, he didn't get parole. He wouldn't have got parole unless the guy that he robbed came forward and said all this, we're good friends now and all this stuff. And
exactly.
I wonder how much that he got. He got to keep the sports memorabilia.
Yes, I'm sure he did. But, I was impressed by this guy, the fact that he did this.
Yeah, that's now, does the town know that he's doing this? I mean,
the town knows, and then the police department knows.
Wow.
And they said if he's choosing not to bring forward charges, that's fine. And they're hoping that the woman does come forward.
Wow. That's you won't find that in many places.
No.
That's a good-hearted person.
But that's good news. That
absolutely.
Did something, in the positive.
Absolutely. Now, your next one is about a young person. An 8-year-old helps buy new wheelchair for his best buddy when insurance fails.
Yeah, these two guys Cameron Hoshan and Paul Burnett have been friends forever. And
Well, 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, what can I tell you? And they're soon to be third graders, and they do everything together, including going to McDonald's and having Happy Meals, playing in the park. And they literally became inseparable. And so when Paul noticed that Cameron was struggling with his wheelchair, he said, okay, how am I going to help you? Cameron became a paraplegic when he was born with a massive tumor embedded in his spine.
Oh, man.
Doctors were able to get the tumor out, but he was left paralyzed. So Paul says, I got to do something. And it turns out that Cameron's wheelchair is too heavy and bulky for them to be playing around. So what Paul did is he started raising money for his friend and got him a wheelchair.
Now, how did he raise the money? Does it say how he did that?
He started, this is the age of 8, a GoFundMe page.
Wow. Does it say how much he raised?
Yes. He was asking for $2,000, and so far over $5,000 has been raised.
Wow.
To help his friend.
Wow. Now, do you know by any chance on these GoFund things, do they actually get the money, or I mean, how do they know if somebody pledges the money if they're going to get the money?
Well, apparently there is a system, an ethical system or a system in place that, because again, I thought the same thing, and I did some checking, because we could say GoFundMe to get a new car.
Absolutely. That's a good idea. Let's do it. Can we get 2?
2 motorhomes, yes. But there is a way that they check to make sure that it's legit. And what he did is, I wanted to tell you too about Paul, how he found out about GoFundMe. He saw it on YouTube. He was seeing videos, and he said to his mom and dad, I want to do this.
Wow. Yeah, it's a different age. Think about it back when you were 8 years old.
8 years old. That was 2 weeks. No.
But, I mean, we still had party lines.
Right. And you weren't allowed to get on when you heard somebody else on the line.
No. It's like, and these kids are like on iPads creating GoFundMe pages.
I know. It's incredible.
Wow. But I'll bet you one thing. I bet you they can't play stickball.
They can't. Or they can't play football on a concrete street.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know. I don't think I would trade mine for that.
No, well, that's growing up like we did.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the innovation that we've gone through and everything.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't trade it. Yeah. Your next story, this just blows me away. Scotland blows world away with wind power equal to 118% of the nation's electricity needs.
Yeah.
Now, this is amazing.
I know. And this is, between January and June, their wind power caused them to save 118%.
It's amazing. Being here in Florida, you would think that we would be able to say the same thing.
Yeah.
And you hear the same story over and over. Oh, it costs this amount of money. Oh, it's going to do this. Oh, we can't do that because of that. I think it's all politics, because if they can do it with windmills,
right?
Why can't we do it with solar panels in the Sunshine State?
Well, that's
right?
exactly right. And it's obviously, politically, somebody saying,
back in, it was, I think, when Jeb Bush was still governor, and I'm not sure what year that was, in the late 1990s, I wrote a letter and outlined a plan for what I would suggest they do for solar power. And basically the plan was that every state building, every school building, every public building be outfitted with solar panels, and not to power those buildings per se, but to be a part of a power network for the whole
That's
state,
brilliant.
right? I get a litter back. It's not cost effective.
Oh,
It's like you're living in the Sunshine State. You're going to buy bulk solar panels, and you just need to install them. You could get people volunteering to do that if you wanted to,
Right.
at like the schools and stuff, and make it a science project or something. No, it wasn't cost effective. But now, Florida Power and Light,
right,
yeah, they've got the big farms going in.
right.
But, you know, the state doesn't see it cost effective.
No, exactly.
It's like,
Ah.
it just blows me away.
Well, but again, we have to look at it. There is good news for Scotland.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, wind power, we use wind power here in the States. If you go out
Right.
west of like Houston, Dallas, Texas area, I mean, it's just hundreds of miles that you just see
Right.
the windmills, because the farmers are getting paid more money to have windmills on their farms than they are for the crops.
Right, like when we were out visiting our son out in California, and we went down to Temecula.
They're every place, miles of it. Yeah, because they're getting paid good.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So that's what we got for this week. What do you got in store for us next time around?
Just let's say that the next week's story is about a Chicago linebacker who saves a man's life.
Really, I can't imagine that.
Yep.
It wasn't Urlacher, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You know?
Well, until next week there, Mr. Baumbach, have yourself a wonderful week.
Thank you. You too.
And-
Have good news.
And bring us the good news.